So, Venapot got banned. 87 of his Axies were banned for 4 months. As you guys know, Venapot is one of the top players in Arena for Axie Infinity, and the leading suspicion on why his Axies were banned was because he leaked photos of the secret testing for the new Battles V2 mode. Axie Infinity invited its top PvP players to a secret server where they could test the new Battles V2, give feedback, and comment on the new game mode. A YouTuber by the name of LeapZ somehow got a hold of these leaked screenshots and posted it on his YouTube channel. So let's take a look on these leaks, shall we? Here you can clearly see Venapot's name, which is why he may have gotten banned because this photo would have come from him. The art for Battles V2 looks totally different from our current art. The Axies look very different, and here on the field there are two creatures that are not Axies. This wooden creature and the bird at the back. Both of them have HP, so they might have been a summon from one of the Axie's new abilities. We can see some icons on the top of the heads of all the Axies. These are probably the buffs and debuffs, but because the icons are unfamiliar, all we can do is guess what they do. This target buff might be some sort of intimidate, which makes your Axie forcefully targeted. The bird icon probably means that the bird summon at the back is granting all of the Axies some kind of buff. The blue flame might be increased damage or crit chance. The red S or lightning looking thing with a number 2 on top of all the Axies might be some sort of counter. G-Host did mention something about changing how the crit mechanics work, so maybe the counter keeps going until a crit happens and the counter resets back to 0. For the cards or abilities, we see the Tadpole card being played here. Again, showcasing a new mechanic of shuffling a status card into the opponent's discard pile. Jinx is a debuff that doesn't allow you to crit in the current game. So it might do a similar thing for Battles V2, except maybe this time, when you draw the Jinx card, you can't crit unless it is removed from your hand. We can also see here that the Cottontail card has a plus 25 and is colored green. Now we discussed in my Battles V2 video that red is attack and blue is block. Same thing here with a red background having a sword icon. So if block is blue, then it would probably have a shield icon, but green is probably a heal card, which also means that Cottontail has completely been changed as a card. We also see an energy coin here in his hand. It says skill/none, which means it is not an ability from one of the Axies. So I am assuming that this works the same as the coin card in Hearthstone, which grants you 1 energy. In Hearthstone, a card game from Blizzard Entertainment, turns are done back and forth. So the person who goes first has an advantage, and to offset that advantage, the player who goes second gets a free coin card that grants you energy, which you can use anytime. Could this mean that in Battles V2 there is no more speed, and that turns are now back and forth? As you can see in the interface, there is no longer a turn order at the top, only this thing saying turn 4. So it might reinforce that turns are now actually back and forth. Here on the left, the big jar is probably the amount of energy you have. The number 13 here on the lower left is the number of cards still in your deck. The 5 on the right is probably the number of cards in your discard pile. And the 1 on this jar could be the cards that are removed from the game. Well, that's my current assumption, unless you guys in the comment section below may have other ideas or know what it could possibly be. Here on the upper right, you can see the same icons, but for the opponent. So it's probably energy, cards in deck, cards in hand, discard pile, and probably the cards removed from the game. Oh, and here on the left part of the picture, there is what looks like a chat box icon. So you might be able to chat with your opponents or maybe chat with other players in the game. That's all the interesting stuff on this picture, so let's move on to the last leaked screenshot. So based on what we know from Battles B2 B4, the devs have mentioned that they will provide free-to-play Axies so that players can try the game. I think Booba is one of them. It says below on his name, #starter_1308. So this might actually mean that he is a starter free-to-play Axie. On the left, there are some empty slots that look like rune slots, or maybe this is equipment slots. Possibly we could equip unique runes or equipment for extra stats, or maybe upgrade some skills or abilities. On the right, we can see body parts with counters at the bottom. So this probably means you can upgrade each body part up to 4 times, as there are 4 counter slots in total. As for the brown or green counter, I believe that this means the class of the part. For example, Persimmon and Forest Hero are plant cards, and the rest are beast cards. So you can see here on the body parts that Persimmon and Forest Hero have green counters, and the other parts have brown counters, which could signify beast. So let's further analyze the cards or abilities of Booba. Persimmon and Forest Hero have plant written on them, and the rest have beast. As you can see, the beast cards are mostly attack cards that gain rage. Rage is another unknown mechanic which we can only speculate on what it does. Since it is a beast card, my assumption is it could possibly be a mechanic to make you crit more. So that's it for all the leaked photos. And Vinapot did say that he would come back after his 120-day or 4-month ban. Maybe that means he'll be back just in time for the release of Battles V2. But anyway, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember guys, the comments I made in the video are just speculation based on my observations from the leaked screenshots and my experience playing card games of different kinds. Let me know in the comment section below if I missed anything in the leaked screenshots, or if you have your own thoughts on what these screenshots could mean. And as always guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!